Hey lovelies, in this episode, I'm going to show you how I built out my Chicago-style deep dish pizza with a gluten-free cornmeal crust. For starters, I use plant-based links beyond sausage. It says hot Italian style, but it's really not hot. So I use 4 links, which is totally optional. I use mock meat. You can just simply stick to vegetables. I placed it in my food processor, and I simply chopped it up for about 60 seconds until they turned into nice crumbles like this. And once you have that consistency, put that on the side. Now I built out my veggies with fresh spinach, garlic, mushrooms, bell peppers, yellow peppers, red peppers, fresh basil, and fresh jalapeños. So green, so fresh. I went ahead next and I grilled out or just cooked out my sausage on medium heat until it was nicely brown. So I wanted a nice little crumble texture. And so after I finished that, I went ahead and made sure that I built out my sauce. Now, I had already made 2 deep dish pizzas prior this weekend, but I used pizza sauce, some diced tomatoes, a half can of tomato paste, Italian seasoning, and black pepper, and put this all together. So this is just me building out my sauce from leftover sauce I had from over the weekend. Absolutely delicious. There was no need to add any additional garlic powder or onion powder because the flavors from the vegetables were going to come together as well. Now, once you actually have it nicely blended and I put this on medium heat, then you can just set this to the side. Now, here's the part about building out the pizza crust dough. So I used 2 small bowls of flour, monk fruit sweetener, pink Himalayan salt, some extra virgin olive oil, and I used 1 pack of the pizza crust dough. The brand name will be in the description box. Now I just simply took this and put it in a bowl like so. Very straightforward, and the instructions are on the back of the Fleshman's packet there. And we want to be able to just add this ingredients because you want to be able to activate your yeast. So by putting all these ingredients in together into one bowl, then I'm going to take 3/4 cups of water. But notice that I'm actually adding a little water at a time because I don't want to flood my bowl, and I want to make sure that my dough is nicely blended. But at the same time, it affords me the opportunity to visually observe that the water is helping with activating the yeast, because you want to see little small bubbles pop up that will let you know that your yeast is going to actually rise. So I just simply did this and I used all of the water, and then as you can see, I gently mixed it all together, ensuring that I have a nice smooth consistency like so. So this is the consistency I was going for. You want to make sure it's soft, but it's not liquidy. So I had a nice in-between texture. Next, I used some gluten-free flour. You can use any brand you see fit. I spread it out on my cooking board, and then I added my dough. See the consistency here? This is what you want, or something similar. And then we're going to harden out the dough to make it a little bit more solidified. So yeah, I'm getting all the nicks and crannies because gluten-free flour, all these ingredients are expensive. So now I'm simply just putting together the flour into the dough here. Just want to make sure that it takes and solidifies, starts to harden. Now you can knead this process as well, and just simply just do as you see fit, or you can actually use a rolling pin. I think I have some notes that's coming forthcoming about that. But simply the trick to this is I added yellow cornmeal to add a crunchier texture to my crust. This is what I want. And for all my Chicagoans, you already know about the deep dish pizza. We have the cornmeal crust. It just adds a nice little texture and flavor. So this is purely optional. So I went ahead and did that as well. And I used my hands. You notice that it's coming together really nicely. So then here, this is where I was talking about kneading the flour. I didn't use my rolling pin, but you can definitely do that if you wanted to. And then actually, you can see the consistency. I just simply oiled my deep dish pan, my cast iron pan, and I just flattened out the dough. Little parts just stuck a little bit, so I just took some leftover flour and I just simply patted it. So you just do it however you see fit, but it has a nice consistency because it's not really sticking to my hand, and we don't want that, of course. So once I decided to just be able to add a little bit more flour just to make sure that none of the dough sticks to my hand, I was able to just build out with my hand, as I saw fit, the crust that I was going for. I just wanted it to basically cover like a half layer, the half top portion or the bottom portion of my pan. And I just simply use my hand, the corner of my hand, as you can see, to just push it out. You don't want to be too rough with it because your dough can actually pull apart here. I'm almost finished with this process. I have a little perfectionist in me, so I was trying to make sure that I covered like all of the like little small pieces because we're adding a lot of ingredients to our deep dish pizza here. And I am almost just about finished. If you guys want to fast forward from this part, you can. This is just me trying to get it the way that I need to. I literally was going into perfectionism mode here. And this is like my third pizza I was making. You would swear I up and down I had a pizza bistro. Okay, it's done. Now I'm ready to build out this deep dish pizza. So I'm adding my Mayoko's Creamery plant-based liquid mozzarella with the BioLife plant-based mozzarella shreds. Again, the ingredients will be in the description box. Now here, if you want to add some extra flavor, I took some garlic paste and put it within the crust, as well as some basil paste. This is purely optional, but I just like the extra flavor, natural herby flavor. So now I'm building it out by just adding my fresh spinach leaves along with fresh basil, and I'm telling you, it was so aromatic already. I'm taking my white sliced baby mushrooms as well, and then putting in my fresh garlic that I had and fresh jalapeños. I don't know why I stepped away, but anywho, I continued out the process with adding my red and yellow green bell peppers to the mix as well. So nice and colorful and flavorful all at the same time. And I just went ahead and added the rest of my spinach and fresh basil on top. This has truly turned into a stuffed plant-based deep dish pizza. And I added my sausage crumbles on top of all of my veggies. Then I'm going to take my field roast plant-based pepperoni. Now you can use trumpet mushrooms and thinly slice them and season them and marinate them to turn it into a form of a vegetable pepperoni. I'm planning on doing that down the road, but I didn't want to do that today. And then last but not least, I'm adding that pizza sauce. Look how rich that sauce looks, you guys. Oh my gosh. Definitely let me know in the comment section if you plan on making this or if you've already made it. So I want to cover all the crevices and get all the corners. The sauce did not overflow in my oven whatsoever. So the sauce cooked into the ingredients. Now, again, this is the Chicago style deep dish pizza where the marinara sauce is on top. Adding a crushed red pepper is optional. I put this in the oven at 450 degrees. I had preheated it and it only took 25 minutes to cook. It was nicely charred. Now, I did let it sit for about 5 minutes, but I wanted you all to see the steam, which is why I let it started cutting into it. But if you want to let it set a little bit longer, you can. And then I went around the edges with my pie crust holder to make sure that the crust actually holds up, and it did. And so then I'm just cutting it nice and gently. And I had to kind of get the crevices a couple of times because I didn't want to make sure the slices of the pizza to fall apart. But look at that steam. That's exactly what I was going for on purpose. I wanted y'all to see that steam. Do you see the steam, you guys? It was oozing out with all the flavors. It smells so good, you guys. And then when I turn around, you can see the crust there. So you're not going to see me eating this because literally I've already shown myself eating a pizza on TikTok and Instagram. But it was really, really good and delicious. I really want you all to focus on this plant-based Chicago style deep dish pizza and how it came out with a slice. It was absolutely delicious. I had to take one more bite before I decided to slice out hubby's. I wanted to make sure all the ingredients came together. So I was taste testing it. You guys just couldn't see me. Now I'm going ahead and I am cutting his slice, putting his slice together into the plate. And off camera, let me just say that hubby loved it so much that he actually took another slice and then he took some to work. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, comment, as well as share out. And let me know in the comments if you're going to make this. What did you think of this recipe? Talk to you guys later.